Hey, what's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome to another Last Question Mark Challenge video today. This one for the Singapore Grand Prix. As you can see by the title, today we're going to be driving a Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari car, trying to see how far we can get up the order from P20 last in the 2017 grid, and this being uploaded obviously after the real-life Grand Prix, and differently to the last few times I've done this style of video, I'm actually doing this commentary after the race is done, so I can say what an absolute madness of a race that was, and so do let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As has been the case for the last few weeks now, the podcast will be coming tomorrow, so you'll have to wait for my full kind of opinion and along with Callum and Tom's opinion on the race. But do let me know what your initial thoughts are straight after that race in the comments below. And of course, there may be some more aftermath of things. I believe Vettel and Kimi are both going to the stewards, so there may be some more kind of clarification from the FI, what went on there. Obviously, it was a crazy one at the very start, and really the entire race, for the simple fact of it was the first time we got an actual wet race around Singapore, which was a very amazing spectacle, really, to have a wet night race, which was absolutely awesome. And on the 10th anniversary, I believe it was, of the Singapore Grand Prix, and on the weekend where they confirmed it was going to be another 4 years, it was a crazy race and a great way to have one. So we go to 5 red lights though here for our last question mark challenge, and ironically, of course, Sebastian Vettel in real life basically went from first to last, so I'm basically trying to do the absolute flip of it as we go into turn 1, trying to feed it through the two Saubers, but actually unable to find some room, which is quite surprising, to be honest. I thought I definitely could have at least got these two around the outside. We have to wait till turn 2 and still unable to get it on the traction. Only now as we get towards this very tricky turn 3, having to just feed the car through in 4th gear and 3rd gear, having to go over the curbing a tad to get past those two, and still I've actually got Sauber on my inside there, and only now are we fully past as proximity goes away as we go down towards the end of sector 1. Can feel like I can maybe make a lunge down the inside of Stoffel Vandoorne to the inside, very close on the exit there, tapping tyres on the right hand side, but we should get this round the outside. Meanwhile, as we've got the Renault car for Jolyon Palmer, I think that is, trying to go down the inside of Fernando Alonso, just manages it, and you can see we lock up as I had a little look at Alonso. Part of me thought I maybe could have stuck it down the inside of him there, but we have to wait till the hairpin where we make a very big lunge. Unable to actually make it work though. He's able to keep it round the outside. Of course, we're on super soft tyres, whereas these guys are all on ultra softs. It's a 25% race as per usual with this challenge. It kind of adds the actual challenge element because I've got less time to actually do the work and overtake all these cars, especially in the Ferrari. Obviously, the Ferrari and the Mercedes in the game are so much faster, even around Singapore. Obviously, unlike real life in the game, the Red Bull cars aren't really going to match the Ferrari car and the Mercedes around here at the Singapore circuit. So go down the inside of Jolyon Palmer very easily on lap 2 then. So we're already up into P15, but it's been a bit of a slow start actually, comparing to how we started in the previous 2 last question mark challenges in the Red Bull cars with Verstappen and Ricciardo respectively at the Belgium and Italian Grand Prix versions. We go down the inside now of Kevin Magnussen and we're up into P14, so going really well, and now starting to flex the muscles of the Ferrari car. Of course, we didn't really see too much of it in the real life race. I'm gonna, I may as well talk a little bit about it, and I can kind of go more in depth to it in the podcast tomorrow. So whilst this kind of runs through and we do the challenge, obviously you guys will maybe want to know what I think, and you guys will, I'm sure, let me know and let each other know in the comments below. I think there's going to be a bit of friction perhaps between Ferrari fans and Red Bull or Verstappen fans, or just general the F1 fans. I think that from what I saw on Twitter, I think there's a majority and then there's a vocal kind of minority that's kind of fighting back. I think, in my opinion, I don't think you can blame Verstappen at all for that crash. I saw a few people try to, but I just don't think you can. He got a good start, Kimi got an even better one, and then for me it was just the fact that Vettel moved to the left so aggressively. Obviously didn't see Kimi because that was his blind spot, that's fair enough, but that's also not enough to kind of just completely take away blame from the fact that there was no need to move that aggressively to the left. Equally also, Kimi was moving a little bit to the right, but not that much, and then from then on it was kind of a racing, unfortunate incident of the two of them just coming towards each other, with Verstappen just unfortunately unable to get anywhere. Braked a little bit, tried to actually get out of the way of both of them, couldn't get out of the way of Kimi. I don't think he actually made contact with Vettel in the end. He actually managed to avoid him, but then obviously Kimi had already lost his rear right tyre, basically, and he had no control, so he was just slamming to the back of Verstappen. I mean, we also heard Hamilton in the post-race interview say that he thought he was going to get collected by Kimi, but for him, luckily, obviously, it was actually Verstappen, and then unfortunately also Alonso, who got absolutely RKO'd and still managed to trundle around for a few laps. And I made a joke on Twitter about the McLaren Honda for once looking like a Nokia brick phone, because somehow he was still trying to make it round, even though he lost telemetry and everything like that. He was still trying to push the car through. So yeah, obviously a very, very crazy Singapore Grand Prix in real life. It's going to be tricky now for Seb to come back from that. That's a big point swing, but equally also, you never know. Like last year, Hamilton, Malaysia, things can happen to Hamilton as well. So it's not over, but you got to say it's not looking great for the guys in red, and Vettel. It's a big chunk, especially at a race where Hamilton said it himself in the post-race interview. It was going to be damage limitation weekend, and he's come out to win it, which was kind of crazy. And also, one thing also is strange is where the Red Bull pace went. It just wasn't there, even in the dry conditions towards the end and in the inter periods. Ricciardo had moments where he looked like he was catching Hamilton, but then ultimately Hamilton had some pace in the bag. Even Mercedes trying to suggest Hamilton should have backed up into Ricciardo to maybe get Bottas into second, or just control and condense the field at the end. So, yeah, a bit of an odd one there in terms of stark contrast from Saturday to Sunday in terms of the pace there. But away from those guys, brilliant weekends for Carlos Sainz, doing really well. Vandoorne as well, showing up the pace. And you got to say also Palmer, obviously all of them got a little bit lucky. I think Sainz got his position more on merit. Palmer had a bit of luck with his teammate also, who would have been ahead of him, having to retire from the Grand Prix, which again, Hulkenberg just can't catch a break there, but kind of ironic on the weekend where Palmer basically gets confirmed that he's not going to be there at the team next year, gets his best career result, which is kind of funny, but I don't think it's going to do much for his career, to be honest. There's still some murmurings about maybe Renault paying him a sizable amount to vacate that seat for Sainz come Malaysia. We'll see, but either way, Sainz has already told his manager to book his plane the next day because he wants to party for a career best P4. But anyway, that's going to be my little take on the race. Really good races for a lot of midfield guys, and obviously absolute madness for the top guys. But I'm gonna save the rest for the podcast, because also we don't know what might come out from the FIA statements and whatnot, and obviously I want to save some for the podcast, talking with Cal and Tom. So let's get back to this challenge then. You saw we've been making very steady progress, and then Valtteri Bottas ends up retiring from this race there on the final corner with an engine failure. So that's going to gain his position. We've also gained one on Hulkenberg through the pit stop phases, and then on lap 10 we make a very cheeky late lunge down the inside of Sergio Perez, so close on the right hand side there. Obviously we're on the ultra soft tyres now, whereas everyone else is on the super soft, so that works out well for us in terms of our strategy. So we're up into P6 and we've got 5 laps left to go. Obviously it's a long lap, Singapore, but still it's definitely been a bit of a slower start, and just generally it's taken me a while till only now, lap 11, while we're setting purple sectors, it's only taken now for us to really get comfortable with the Singapore circuit in the Ferrari car and really start making up positions. You can see there yellow flags again for another car retiring, and I believe that was Kimi Raikkonen, our teammate there. So one of the Ferrari cars out of this race, so that's, I guess, half the prediction correct from I recorded the race before the real life race. I'm doing the commentary after it, so it's kind of half and half in terms of the game predicting it. You can see there Kimi Raikkonen parking up with an engine failure as well, so kind of surprising actually, 2 AI cars with engine failures in a 25% race at Singapore. But we send it down the inside of Felipe Massa. We're just about going to squeeze him out on the exit, and so we're up into P4. So at the moment I believe it's Lewis Hamilton leading this game race, with Verstappen in second, Ricciardo third, and so can we try and maybe bag a late podium here, which I think would be pretty damn good considering the very slow start we had into turn 1 and the opening lap. I feel like if we had got up into at least P14 on the opening lap, then this would have been a disappointing finish. But the fact we were still in P18 by the time we got to the end of sector 1, I think this is a kind of good finish, I guess you could say, from the slow starts. We go round the outside of Ricciardo, trying to, I should say, though. But Ricciardo, to my surprise, puts up a really decent fight here. So having to maybe just be a little bit patient. You can see going a little bit wide there in 5th gear. And so I'm going to have to wait till the very next lap to try and make a move. As we go into the last lap of the Grand Prix, this will be. So a late podium charge here against Daniel Ricciardo. So showing some decent pace at the moment. But obviously in the game, it's not really the same as it was in real life on Saturday, with the Red Bull cars being so good in the dry, apart from obviously Vettel's great pole lap. But here we go down the main straight. You can see Verstappen's actually there, so if we had gotten Ricciardo on that previous lap, I maybe could have even got second. But now we're going to have to contend with just maybe getting a maximum of P3 as we send it down the inside of the Aussie, and we just about squeeze him out there. We go defensive to the inside. That actually allows Ricciardo though to send it down around the outside, and does a great job to kind of force his way through, gets the elbows out. Very close stuff here, so we have to try and hang it around the outside on this 4th gear corner. We go side by side down this back straight towards what was the Singapore sling. Obviously now just a long left-hander. We're still trying to give him the room there because he's still there on the inside on the proximity area. We just about squeeze him out there into the tunnel bridge section where the Sauber obviously lost it in real life there, and that sent out the third safety car of the afternoon. Still quite surprising actually that it's been 100%. There's been a safety car on every single Singapore Grand Prix, which I think is kind of cool in a way, that kind of stat. But we can't cross the line anyway for P3 in the challenge. So it's actually our best finish on the challenge, last question mark, because obviously Verstappen, the one we did with at the Belgium Grand Prix, we got 5th, I think it was. Ricciardo, we got 4th, and so we got 3rd. So actually, if the pattern continues, maybe next time, I don't know if I'm going to choose the other Ferrari car to do it with, or maybe if I choose one of the Mercs to do the next last question mark challenge at the Malaysian Grand Prix, won't it be? Maybe I'll get 2nd, you know, that pattern's actually forming quite well. But either way, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought, obviously, of the real-life Grand Prix. And if you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly forum content. As I said, the Pit Lane podcast with myself, Callum, and Tom will be coming out tomorrow. So if you want to wait for our full opinions then, that'll be tomorrow, probably at some point during the afternoon or evening tomorrow on Monday. But yeah, obviously I did kind of share a few little thoughts, but you're gonna have to wait for my full kind of thought of every single, you know, running. Obviously I missed out quite a lot whilst talking over the challenge, so you're gonna have to wait for that. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day on Sunday, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.